a woof doof broadcasting mantra was players play and viewers pay, which I think is good. But I was like, okay, but a lot of our viewers, while you're kicking off this campaign, are still the players. So now they're just paying in two different spots. However, I do believe that it is on a slow, sure bit of progress, and there are slowly more spectators and fans and people who like follow the sport and are not necessarily obsessive players. It's small, but I think that's the advantage these other sports have. They still like, kids and teenagers and people who are not fit enough or fast enough or tall enough or good enough to play them can still like get online, listen to Stephen A, rip apart a stats section, know everything about the game and be so totally obsessed with it. That's their way of being involved.
Yeah. I mean, I do think even just you mentioning it there just makes me, when we're talking about this whole thing of growing the sport, like I think stats are so essential because they provide so many talking points and themes and things to discuss. Like they just make everything so much more interesting. So we got to figure out a way to get stats.
That's what I've been pining for the last 3 years in commentary is statistics. Like everything is so subjective. Even like we do like, we can't have to do an opinion show at the start of a season and say who we think we're going to win. And like, you asked me who the best 7 players are and I'll give you an opinion, but I would love to be able to back it up and to be able to give like some, conscious comparison and say, actually he does have a few too many turnovers and I'm looking at his vitals and he's 6'2" and he's only 6'1". So I'll take the taller guy in this situation. And like this fingertip statistics is gotta be like stats make superstars is really what it comes down to. And superstars sell tickets. And I think like as much as you don't want superstars, if you're a team manager or coach, because then they're playing for stats and not for, team buy-in and team mantras. As far as growing the sports, like we want superstars. We want to be able to like put a few exceptional people on pedestals and say these are the kings and queens of the sport, and they're
back it up with
for these reasons that have concrete data that say they are the best.
You ever thought announcing in the UFA? You ever thought about that?
We need to get Stef out to a Summit game. Beautiful Golden. Beautiful
fly me
School
out
of
there,
Mines.
man. I want to commentate in every like now that I have said okay, I'm giving up on real world jobs. I want to.
Are you going to be out here for US Open?
I've applied with the US. Ulti World's never flown out commentators from overseas, from what I understand. But this year would be the right year to do it, Charlie, and all of you
I'll talk
on
to
board
my good friends at USAU.
So you stay out of this, Quinn. I want a job. But I would love to. Like, I mean, I'm dying for, last year was the first time I did a proper Woof-Duff event, and I got Worlds, which was awesome. I was like so super stoked on it. It's like, there's a lot of politics involved in who gets it. Like there's always the people who are the best and they've done it this year and they did it last year. So of course they're going to do it next year. And you got to like kick some doors down.
We should chat about this a little bit more because it's not like we don't have any money to help. Okay. Maybe we have some resources. We have some resources to help potentially, but since Mooncatchers are coming, all this great international presence, and we now have some good friends on Mooncatchers.
Right. Let's actually make it international.
I imagine like a lot of the people that we were talking about who are coming together in that sort of confluence of passionate people in, I guess, whatever we call this Frisbee media will be here. I think Benson's going to be here. Jim lives here.
Let's set up like a round table of people who are like-minded in what we're doing.
Yeah,
a council.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rowan's going to be here. One of our trainer, Brian Nevison, is going to be here. There's just like going to be a lot of people. I feel like it would be a good opportunity for
collaboration
for us to just hang out.
Let's start a club.
At minimum brainstorm, but
amen. I'm open to any and every opportunity to be able to talk Ultimate, to be able to commentate Ultimate. I love it. I think it's good. I think I bring a lot beyond the fact that I sound like a buzzsaw cutting through your cranium when I get going. but I have I think I get pentameter and pace, and otherwise like I think I have as good of a worldly knowledge of
Totally.
Yeah,
ultimate
that's what I was gonna
as
say.
anyone
Yeah.
out there, and I
Yeah,
think to that end, that's what I try and sell for international events when
It
I'm
is.
talking to.
I really do enjoy
yeah.
listening to you for a lot of reasons. Not only because of your banter, but I really can't tell where you're from. Maybe it's because you've been to so many places, but it just for whatever reason that makes it feel more like you're tied to the world. I guess like you've seen it all and you know who everybody is.
That's
Um,
why I think it would be a great idea for US Open, because I don't know what commentators they're going to get, and they can obviously do research and stuff. But like for you, it's just, you have this understanding of like a more international scene. And I really like that
yeah,
because, especially being here, like I'm just in the US bubble. I don't really know half the players that you listed, to be honest, like of people you were naming. And I want to, and I also think it's good. I think I get a lot of excitement out of it. I think it could open the eyes to a lot of other people who are just watching the sport if they hear about all these other great players that they aren't familiar with, and they start to watch them a little bit, and they, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's good for the sport.
Well, I love what you guys are talking about. And now, like, speaking in the, to the other sense, like last year, Paul Arders came over and played with the Mooncatchers and played
hmm
European Championship. Like, I think we need the same thing. I think like that kind of reciprocity, like, goes so far for everything we've been discussing over the course of this
yeah,
pod, but mostly like, bringing the ultimate world together, and, you know, U.S. teams having a chance to be better and swing harder and fight for the U.S. title, and then bringing that back over and having like it's the end of your season, like it's not even a season. Like Paul did it great last year, but he came over 2 or 3 times. But I'm sure there's a bunch of teams that would take you guys to come to Poland this year in October. Bolster 2-3 players onto a roster and go swing for a title, a European title. Like these
I'm
things are
down,
all
Quinn. We should do
possible.
that.
And
If
it's
anyone's
easy, and
listening, hit
Poland's
us up.
awesome. Poland's I love going to Poland.
Steph. I mean, I have a guest room. I live less than 20 minutes from the U.S. Open fields. I live about 20 minutes away from where Summit plays. So maybe you could stay and make an extended trip, and we could
Yeah,
figure out a way for you to commentate both.
amen. We're gonna find a way. Let's. I like where this is starting off. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
willing and able. So
Well,
yeah.
this is why I really like getting together with all the people thinking like this, because the amount of creative ideas that come out of it are just like so exciting to me. Like you just have a conversation, and then the kind of things that you can think up that, because of the combining different experiences and the excitement, it's so fun. Like you create like, whole new ideas that you weren't even thinking about before. And that's the stuff that then gets exciting, because it's stuff that you weren't thinking about. So